This is big breaking emergency news. They have now announced this tracking and tracing system of our cash and of our money. They have now officially announced the central banking digital currency. This has now been announced at a federal level and also at a global level for the global international banking transfer system. They have now announced that they are switching over to the central banking digital currency system, and we are going to see this come into effect in the next 12 to 24 months. That is what mainstream news is now reporting, that we could see a CBDC in the next 12 to 24 months. All right, so you need to be getting ready. That's going to mean the end of cash. That's going to mean everything is tracked and traced, and that's going to mean there's no alternative systems. They're going to shut down all the alternative systems, and you're going to have to use the CBDC very soon. That's what is being announced in mainstream news, and they're saying we only have 12 to 24 months left. All right, so let's get into the news here. Let's get into the details, the articles here really quick. Please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple times a day, keeping you guys updated on this big, urgent news. All right, but check this out. This was just announced today by SWIFT. So if you don't know what SWIFT is, this is the international monetary movement of funds between banks. They clear the movement of funds between international banks in and out of the country. It's all done through SWIFT. So you can see here it says SWIFT is planning to launch new central bank digital currency platform in 12 to 24 months, right? And this is serious because the US has already announced that they are working on these central banking digital currencies, but they can't announce it until they can't officially roll it out until they can move money around and interact with other banks' cryptocurrencies, right? Trade and convert with other central banking digital currencies like a UK one or a European Union one, which have already been announced. They need an international system so they can trade with, all right? And it's now being announced that this system will be in play in 12 to 24 months, all right? It says the global bank messaging network SWIFT is planning a new platform in the next 1 to 2 years to connect the wave of central bank digital currencies now in development to the existing finance system, it has told Reuters. It says the move, which would be one of the most significant yet from the nascent CBDC ecosystem, given SWIFT's key role in global banking, is likely to be fine-tuned to when the first major ones are launched. All right, so you heard that? So it says, I know that was a lot of jargon, but the release of this SWIFT system is being fine-tuned to when the first major CBDCs are launched. So they're saying when the CBDCs are launched, this SWIFT system is going online at the same time. So this is happening very soon, guys. You need to get ready. And this is the end of our financial privacy and freedom completely. Completely, the government will have complete access to all transaction and trading systems because there is actually a public ledger. Every cryptocurrency, even Bitcoin, has a public ledger of all transactions. All transactions are actually public, but it's just done through a quote address or it's like a IP address essentially, okay? And that's anonymous, but the government knows your address. They know the IP address. They know the wallet address, all right? They know who owns it because you're interacting with your bank account. You're interacting with these exchanges, buying coins, selling, all the stuff. They know exactly who owns what wallet. They know. So all this stuff's tracked and traced. There's going to be no more financial privacy once this is rolled out. And this is the beast system that we've talked about for years. This is the beast system. It's being announced right now. This article goes on to say around 90% of the world's central banks are now exploring digital versions of their currencies. Most don't want to be left behind by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but are grappling with technological complexities. All right, and so Swift's head of innovation, Nick Kiergan, said its latest trial, which took 6 months and involved a 38-member group of central banks, commercial banks, and settlement platforms, had been one of the largest global collaborations on CBDCs and tokenized assets to date. All right, so they've already been doing this test for 6 months of 38 major ones. The US, the UK, it's going to be the most sophisticated countries that have that technology to create these blockchains and these cryptocurrencies. But you can see here it says it focused on ensuring different countries' CBDCs can all be used together, even if built on different underlying technologies or protocols, thereby reducing payment system fragmentation risk. See, they want to have this seamless so they can all trade and they can all announce it at the same time and lockstep us into this CBDC system. And they're going to use it to manipulate everything. They've talked about at the World Economic Forum how CBDCs will be disappearing. All right, they can make them expire. All right, they have a time limit. All right, they're going to discourage saving money. All these things they're going to. So if it's been in your account for a few years, that money might expire if you don't spend it. All these things they've talked about openly in public, and then also attaching this to actions, right? Things that you do in rationing as well. It's going to be very easy to manipulate rationing for resources and things like this when there are problems in the economy. All right, they're going to be able to say you can only spend so much money, so many tokens per day, so many coins per day. You can only spend so much. All that stuff will be easily programmed into the currency, because right now we kind of have a digital currency, but it's really just, it's kind of just a number in a computer and a server right now. That's really what it is. It's not really that complex, and it's backed up, maybe on multiple servers. Maybe it's encrypted, but it's really just a number. There's no central organization. This is going to be centrally controlled by the federal government, and they will know exactly where every single dollar is. They will know exactly every dollar, whose wallet it's in, whose crypto wallet it's in, whose bank account it's in, everything. They're going to know where everything is. Right now, it's very messy. Somebody could have $100 million in some random bank account, and nobody would really know about it if nobody ever said anything, right? And that's not me, right? I wish I had that. That would be amazing. But that's kind of how it works right now. You kind of have to find where the money is. You kind of have to figure out what bank they have, everything. If the federal government wants to figure it out, they have to kind of search and dig and figure it out. Now they will know. Nope, that exact crypto token, we know the token number on it, everything for those dollars. We know exactly where it is and what wallet and what bank it's been deposited into and who's in possession of it. And they can also shut it down at a moment's notice as well. All right, so this cryptocurrency we need to say no. We need to say we don't want this. But I'm worried this is the plan once we have a hyperinflationary economic collapse scenario. Because once they do have control of every single dollar, it's all tokenized and digitized, then they can really come in and say, hey, inflation's so bad here, so we're going to replace this. Whatever's going on, the economic situation's so bad, we're going to replace it with this cryptocurrency, and now we can just add money to your account based on inflation or whatever. All right, inflation's 10%, 7%, 5%, 3%, whatever it is that month. They can just say, look, we're just going to increase the money in your account, all right, to deal with this inflation. There's going to be ways that they sell it to people. They're going to make it, they're going to have some benefits here. That's how it always is. You trade comfort and benefits for your freedom and your privacy and your security as well, right? So we do not want this. We do not need this system. We just need sound financial decisions in our government and with our debt and with our budgets. If you saw, they just passed this $1.2 trillion budget with all this garbage in it, all right? And all these random things. There's just billions of dollars just thrown away to the most random causes that don't help Americans, and some of them even hurt Americans, and we don't want laws we don't even want being passed, and we just have to pay for it. We need sound financial decisions in our Congress and for our country, and they're not doing it because they know that this is going to accelerate the CBDC. Once this system collapses, they're going to bring in the new beast system on top of it, where everything's tracked, traced, monitored, can be programmed to not buy certain things. Certain goods are not allowed to be bought. Even think about food. All these things, we know that there's agendas for, don't eat any meat. Don't eat this food. Don't eat that food. It's bad. Don't drive your car. Don't drive a gas guzzling car. All these ideas are being pushed all the time. And the way that they can actually implement these ideas is to control the monetary system, right? They know you bought whatever. You bought 3 steaks this week. So that's enough. That's your limit, or whatever it is. You bought 1 steak. And that's it. That's your limit for the week. And they know, because the currency is programmed to only allow to buy that. That's what we're dealing with here. Or gas. You can only buy so much gas every week. And your currency is programmed to only allow that. Or whatever the government doesn't want you to buy, they could program it to not allow the currency to approve the transaction. All right, this is already happening with certain transactions that are deemed like red flag or anything like that, or they don't want happening. Certain banks, they flag them and they don't allow certain transactions to go through. It doesn't matter how many times. If it's a controversial thing, they don't want you to get, okay? Even if it's completely legal. But you can see here, even at Amazon, they announced this last year too, okay? Because this goes hand in hand, literally hand in hand, where you're going to have to scan your palm, or scan your eyes, scan your forehead, scan your face to access your digital wallet and your cryptocurrency, and that's how you're going to buy food. And if you don't submit to that, then you're going to be locked out of the system, right? And this has been talked about in the Bible. This is the system that was talked about, and the system is being built right now all around us. They're using it as a blueprint and building it all around us while we pay for it. You can see here it says Amazon One palm payment technology is coming to all 500 plus Whole Food Market stores in the US. This was last year, July 20th, 2023. But all 500 stores, where you just see that little thing there, that little circle, you just hold your hand over that. You set up an account where you scan your hand, you link it to your debit card, all this stuff. It's a little kiosk in the store, I believe. And once you have an account set up, and you got your Prime up, there you go, it's linked to your Prime accounts, perfect. And once you have that, then you can just scan your hand over that, and it brings up your account, has your biometric data to bring up your debit card and pay right there just with your hands. All right, so this is the future. It's already here, and it's going to be accelerated soon. And we could see a big event happen before this stuff, and that's going to be the justification to say, hey, we really need this. We really need internet IDs. We really need cryptocurrencies, all this stuff, because they're going to say, hey, we can use it to shut down illegal activity, illegal transactions and financials, money moving, anything like that. They'll say we'll be able to shut down all that, all right, which might be true, but they're allowing it to happen. They're allowing all these things to get out of control and creating the crisis and just blowing through our money and blowing through the national debt, sending money all over the world, all this stuff. They're the ones that are allowing this crisis to get so bad. And we could see a big event, and then they could come in and say, hey, we need to have this so we can really keep track of the money and stop the overload of spending and the fraud and all this stuff with our money. All right, that could be the justification for people to accept it. So be on the lookout, get cash, right? You don't have to have a big wad of cash, but at least have a little bit of cash, because it's going to be valuable, especially if this goes into place and they just stop printing paper money at all. It's going to be extremely valuable, even if it's not used. It could be outlawed eventually, who knows? But it's still going to have tremendous value as well, right? Just for a while after these systems are implemented, people are still going to accept cash. And especially if it hits the fan as well, and none of these systems are working, people might start accepting cash again if they see you have it. All right, so be prepared, get ready. This stuff's coming. The beast system is here. They're announcing it. We don't have much time, 12 to 24 months until this comes into place. So get your homestead ready, get growing, get your chickens, get your garden going, all right? Get some kind of skill, build something, work on cars, work on machines, anything, so you have some kind of alternative skill if you need to opt out of this system and you still need to barter and still need to trade and get food and do what you need to do, so you can kind of get out of the system if you need to. Set up your own things right now before there's no time left. All right, so thank you guys. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.